Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome. We're back. We're not dead. It's been a trying season, but we've found a way that we can make content for you. And what we're doing.
We are doing Youth Archive in the morning. We're doing a podcast. We are joined by two lovely people, youth leaders, in our Youth Archive theme, let's say. We're not going to introduce them just yet. Let's create a little bit of suspense, a little bit of tension amongst the audience. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what they've been getting up to, what sort of things they've been doing over this time of quarantine and lockdown. So yeah, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Come on, boys.
Roll the tile. Youth Archive in the morning. Hello, welcome to our brand new show on the Youth Archive channel. This is Youth Archives in the morning. Guests, introduce yourself.
I'm Rosie, and this is George.
Hello.
But apparently we're not allowed to be Rosie and George. We have to be
George and Rosie.
It's a comfort thing. I like to know that
Following
George and Rosie. Because otherwise it all descends into chaos, and then it's going to start being Rachel and Ben and Chris Uller and Connor. And then...
and Ewan and himself.
Blair,
I'm not going to say anything, right? I'm not the one being sexist. I'm sat here quietly supporting you through this, and I'm getting stuff like that thrown at me. It's not on.
You're currently my favourite, so...
Also, does that mean we have... Oh, we do. We have Helen and Alan. It isn't Alan and Helen.
Who's Helen and Alan?
What do you mean? It's my parents. What do you mean?
Helen and for Ewan's parents.
Well, it is Helen and Alan. No one calls them Alan and Helen.
Yeah, that's when my dad's Scottish. There's different ways of
To be fair, if we started doing like Deb and Nay and Jeannie and Paul...
Oh, to be fair, it doesn't sound right, does it?
I don't have to do Naples backwards.
Naples.
What would
a payphone.
Apron.
Apron, yeah.
Oh, the whole house is just shook, so I'm guessing someone's walked in and slammed the door.
Tom. It's Glenn. Come give me corona.
Better not be. He's on lockdown with the bug.
A bug.
So, right, let's get straight into it. George and Rosie, how are you, lads?
Doing all right.
Yeah.
Surviving.
Rosie assures me that she's not sick of you yet.
Yeah.
That's probably a good thing. I mean, to be fair, I'm staying out of the way. I'm still working, so...
I'm being a housewife and cleaning things.
Yeah, but I'm still working every day. So...
Yeah. How are you balancing out your quarantine?
It just involves me working and then watching a load of Netflix or Disney Plus, and then that's pretty much the cycle of my days at the minute.
Yesterday we spent maybe 4 hours in the same room watching independent Netflix shows.
I can't blame you. It sounds good.
In the same room? In the same room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surely that got annoying, like...
Nope.
No, we had his headphones on.
I was going to say, out.
It's just like one person just watching Community, really, like one watching Daredevil.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think Disney Plus has been the saviour of this lockdown. It came at just the right time.
So much throwback Disney.
It's been my saviour. I've finished the whole animated 90s series of Spider-Man.
I finished it.
All 65 episodes.
How have you done that so quick?
They're only 20 minutes long, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Me and Connor have both been watching Star Wars from the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know where Connor's at with it. I finished it in like 3 days.
Yeah, I've watched all of them as well.
I've had work to go to, even sat at home.
Yeah, Connor's a key worker, Ben.
Oh, clap for the warehouse workers.
I'm a key worker.
I keep meaning to watch Last Jedi. I'm going to get around to it at some point.
I'm not.
Oh,
You know, the more and more I've watched it, the better it gets.
It is good.
It was never. I don't think it was ever a bad film. I just think the fans who raged about it were
just salty. 40-year-old single people.
I did this morning. I was having a look at the script for the original Star Wars 9.
It's so much better than what they produced, wasn't it?
Oh, I know. And I watched some guy did it animated on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just animated the script out. even that 5 minutes was better than the 2.5 hours that I sat through. It wasn't Star Wars.
Which one? The last one?
Yeah.
I really liked it. I quite liked it.
Someone dies, they're dead. Just keep it that way.
I have no idea what's happening, so I've not watched any. Well, I think I've watched some Star Wars, but I don't know which one.
It's essentially, Rosie, if you imagine the meanest girl from Mean Girls died.
Tina Dore.
Oh my
Yeah.
And she doesn't die.
Yeah. And then they bring her back in Mean Girls 9. And then they're like...
It was bad enough. Don't make me think about Mean Girls 9.
Oh, wow. You're really scraping at the bottom of the barrel for content there, aren't you?
That's what we're planning to produce Mean Girls 9 for some more Youth Archives footage, just for views.
You're just going to skip 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 then?
Yeah, they're not worth it.
Oh, yeah. It'll be like, because clearly the storyline that came before 9 just doesn't matter anymore, we're going to say, these ones just don't watch them straight onto 9.
I've never seen Mean Girls at all.
What?
When?
I've never seen it.
You're missing out.
It's my sixth.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think maybe Mean Girls 2 might be on Netflix.
Mean Girls 2 is like the Disney Channel original version of Mean Girls.
This is not a thing, is it?
It's terrible.
It's not a thing.
Painful to watch.
I'll take your recommendation. I'll give it a watch.
Yeah, Mean Girls is great.
Cool.
So, George and Rosie, you're both youth leaders.
We are.
And you both at some point doing that, you've been students.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And doing a lot of work. Rosie, I know that you studied.
A lot of work.
I know what you studied, Rosie. George, what did you study?
I studied youth work.
So yours was very much like suited to juggling that with youth then.
Definitely, yeah.
Because you were just kind of learning.
I did part of my year 2 placement at church actually.
Yeah.
I was having a bad experience with a place that they'd actually put me in. I said, I'm not having this. I do better youth work at my church, so you might as well just let me volunteer there.
Yeah.
So we managed to get it sorted in the end, which was quite good.
Yeah. So yours fit in quite well, but Rosie, how did you fit in? How did you balance?
Well, for like a year and a half, I didn't. I just went abroad.
Yeah. Just ran away and I'm going to Spain.
I just dumped my connect on Alice and was like, deal with that.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, to be fair, because my degree wasn't like essay heavy or anything. So when it came to deadline time, it'd be a little bit stressful.
Yeah.
But actually, youth was really great because it gave me something to do that was completely unrelated to what I was doing at uni and with a different group of friends and stuff like that. So actually, it was a welcome break on Fridays and Sundays. And yeah, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, because I know that university takes a lot of time, and I know for me that was something of how am I balancing youth with that, and I guess a lot of students that are wanting to take a bigger part in church will see it as an either or. Yeah. And I think you balanced it very well, because other than you, Rosie, there was never a time where you guys disappeared.
I think if you want to do something enough and if you care about something enough, you can make time for it. Because, with anything that's worth doing, you have to make some sacrifices. Even though for me it wasn't necessarily difficult to manage my time, there were times when I had to say, no, I won't be going out because on Fridays I go to youth. And they were like, come afterwards, and I'd come back to the flat with Tribal Wars paint that wouldn't come off. And it'd be like, well, maybe not. I think you have to do that with anything, but you'd have to make choices like that even if you weren't studying and you were working. And it's just knowing how much it's worth managing. Yeah.
I think as well for me it was a case of what's my priorities. Now I know that not everybody is going to have the same priorities I have, but for me youth and church is it's the most important thing. Yeah. So where some people will probably ask, how does youth and church fit around what I'm doing? for me, it was always a case of how does what I'm doing actually fit around youth and church?
Mhm.
So youth and church were the things that like were my priority. So for me, it was never a case of like, you know, where do I strike a balance with it? It was always a case of, no, I've got youth and church, I do youth and church, and then everything else I'm going to somehow work and fit around it, rather than like saying it's either or.
Yeah. I think that's a good way of looking at it. So if someone wanted to be a youth leader, what would your one bit of advice be?
I think everything comes down to being, FAT, fat, faithful, obeyable, teachable. Because if like one of those things starts to drop, you can't maintain it. Because even if you're faithful and available, if you're not teachable, if you can't take corrections, then you're never going to grow, and it's going to become difficult to keep doing it. And the same with faithful and available. If one of them goes, you can't maintain being a youth leader, or you can't maintain it effectively. So I think that's, for me, the main thing.
Yeah, I think as well, for me, it's a case of how much do you really want it? How much do you want to be a youth leader? How much impact do you want to have on young people's lives? Because if you don't want it enough, then it's gonna show. You can't go half-hearted into these things. You can't be half-hearted about what we're doing, because the cause for it is so urgent and it's so important that it needs you to be full on for what you're doing. So it's something I always have to keep reminding myself of, and something that my leaders have kept asking me over the years is how much do I really want this, and how much do I want to be a part of it?
Great.
That's really good. Do you boys have any questions for the guests?
Do we have any questions?
Yeah.
I'll advise over to my colleague Connor O'Neill to ask some questions.
I'm just the filmer and editor.
Connor's literally just here drinking a massive bottle of Coke.
Is he?
Domino's.
Yeah, have you not seen it? Loads
No.
of times when Rosie was talking, you've just seen this.
Is he?
Honestly, just here for the snacks.
He's the only one of us that brought snacks, so I'm quite proud.
At least none of you guys did what George did yesterday. We
What
were
did
on
George do?
a Zoom call with like the team for Rotherham. April was reading a Bible verse, and I was like, I don't like it when it switches and shows us when we're not speaking, we're just like moving or something. So I muted the mic. Immediately after I muted it, you let one rip a massive fart.
I think I saw your tweet about that yesterday, and I was
Well, it's in my own home. I'm allowed to do that.
It was instant. He'd been waiting for me to mute the mic, and it was just instantly let one rip.
I can so see George just doing that in church anyway. Like, I'm just going outside for a sec. Someone's ringing me just to go through the door and fart. Okay, wrong number, sorry.
You have to wait for everybody to say yeah at the same time in the message.
And everybody said,
when worship starts up again, you've got to wait till then. Can't do it during the message.
When you get into the big bit of the song, the bridge, and it's building.
Yeah.
I still remember the time in church where it just went silent and everyone heard Tom Moore's just let one rip.
Yes, I remember that.
Just because the only thing you could hear was that, and then you laugh.
That's true.
I'm sure you'll love
it so well.
It's quite a haunting memory, to be fair. I laughed at it, but I do not remember it fondly. So yeah, what have you been binging? We're moving straight on from serious questions to Netflix questions, by the way.
I was watching Glee. I started from season. I'm now on season 4 because I used to watch it when it was on TV and then like stopped at season 2, I think. So I started watching again.
There's one point where it gets mad.
I mean, the whole thing is nuts.
Well, my sister's been watching it. I'm not sure what bit you're up to, so I don't want to say anything. That's gonna mess up. But at one point, it deals with.
You can spoil it.
it deals with school shooting.
Oh,
at one point.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, but it's an accidental school shooting. It's a little bit insensitive.
Oh, great. Can't wait to get to that bit.
Yeah.
There's bits where you watch it and you're like, what is happening? I don't understand anything. I do skip some songs as well.
One thing I never really get about it and about like musicals as well is how one person can burst into song and immediately everyone's got this dance routine and know all the lyrics.
Yeah.
Suspension of disbelief is key. You just have to
But-
go, I'll let it slide. It's not real.
Then, in all fairness,
If you can watch Star Wars
I'm
and
gonna
not
say-
be like, that's not real.
we're Star Wars and Marvel fans, and I get where
Yeah.
she's coming from, because there are points where you just have to go, no, I'm just going to go along with this.
It's like
Yeah.
in Harry
But I would so love someone to make a musical where, like, anytime someone bursts into song, everyone around is confused and they're like, "Why is someone dancing it?"
Somebody
Well, do you
told
see?
me, Ben, in Teen Beach 2, the Disney Channel movie.
Right.
You're welcome.
Because
No,
I've
don't
definitely watched that.
Did you see they've done like a Back to the Future musical now?
There's a Back to the Future musical.
Yeah, it's coming to. Well, it's meant to be coming to London,
It's not now.
but not anymore.
They made coronavirus purely to stop that.
Yeah,
Someone was there like, we gotta do something about this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was watching the 90s Spider-Man series,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to start watching Tiger King at some point.
Oh,
About, 'cause
It
I
is-
I don't know whether I've got mixed feelings
have
about
a
it.
TikTok audio of Carol Baskin talking about cats. That's literally, that's it.
oh, I love it so much. It's
Yeah,
just it goes from one extreme to another. Like, there's just this guy called Joe Exotic who's kind of like the main thing about it, and he's just talking about his animals. Like, oh yeah, I love my cats. Then someone's like, oh yeah, you know that he takes his cats out and he shoots them when he's done with them, and you're like, what? And then it cuts to some other guy, and he's like, oh, Carol Baskin, yeah, everyone thinks she's great, but you know, she killed her husband, and then you're like,
Okay, I don't know.
Right.
I'll let George watch it first, and then he can tell me if I want to watch it. He did that with
It was
the cat documentary.
the cat documentary that was on
Domestic
Netflix
Cats.
that we're not allowed to
Don't mess
Endorse.
with
say
that's
the title.
yeah,
Yeah, he was like,
don't
don't
bleep
watch it.
with cats. Yeah, we've I've just started watching Community on Netflix.
Oh
Which is
yeah,
a very
a lot
good
of people have
show.
been raving about that.
It's amazing. It's one that it came out ages ago, and then it was on Channel 4, and I was like, I'll watch it. And it just isn't funny when there's adverts in between. So if you ever want to watch it on all four, don't. Just buy Netflix, watch it on Netflix, because it's so much funnier then. And I got through a whole season in a day. Took me 3 years to get through season 1 on all four.
We watched season 6 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine as soon as that came out.
Amazing, isn't it?
We did it really quickly though, and then we just sat there like,
Well, there were
"It's finished!"
there were fewer episodes in this
Yeah,
season.
it's
Right.
short of 5 episodes, this one.
Yeah.
And then season 7, I've just started watching that. I'm watching it in
This is where those editing skills come in handy.
America. I just stick a VPN on and go to the NBC site. And then, like, 13 episodes this season. That's not enough.
Wow, for a sitcom, that's
That's really short.
That's a
the length
small
of
amount.
the episodes.
20 minutes.
no.
So it's because it's mid-season, and I think they like to finish in time to know whether they're cancelled or not.
Hmm.
But then it's just not fair. I just want to watch 25 episodes of it.
Can I just say, I've had Connor pinned on my video for the last like 10 minutes, and I've never enjoyed looking at someone so much. Connor, the way you eat pizza is beautiful. Can I just?
Thanks.
I want to see this.
You're welcome.
Connor, eat a pizza.
He's stopped now. It's not. It's like
There's your cold opening for.
it's so graceful. It's so graceful. He takes a bite and he rips it rather than like biting into it and just like. But it's like a smooth rip. It's like when he cut some paper with some scissors. It's so satisfying.
Because I got braces, I can't chomp down and cut through it. It hurts me teeth.
It's beautiful. I'm impressed with you.
I really want to see it because the way you described it makes it sound pretty angelic. That
It was.
I'm gonna have to watch it back just to see all the bits where he's eating.
Do a supercut.
Oh, we will.
Connor eating pizza.
Just a whole 30-minute episode of Connor just demolishing a Domino's.
Should we in with the quarantunes?
Quarantunes.
Yes.
Ewan, do you want to explain this segment?
I would if I knew what was going on.
You were the first person on this call, and you said, "So what are we doing?" And I explained it to you.
Yeah, I know. I'm still confused. It's. Oh, right. Okay. No, I understand now. Right. So am I correct in thinking you can interrupt and swear at me if
No,
I'm
we
wrong?
can't.
We can't.
No, you can't.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyway, you need to wait. You've got some tunes. You've got some waka tunes that you selected. There's some great tunes that you selected for people to watch during this time of quarantine. Would you like to share some of those songs with us? Is that
Yours
right?
is way longer than mine.
I've got 6.
Okay, there we go.
That's
Right.
okay.
Cool.
So I got Tootsie Slide by Drake.
I
That
don't
came
know.
out Friday. That's a
What's
bop.
your reason for bringing this
Mm.
to the table?
Just Drake.
To
It's
the
really
council.
cool.
Cool.
I've got Blinded by the Light, The Weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's just called The Light, isn't it?
No, sure.
Nah, it's called Blinded by the Light. I'm having that.
I'm with Rosie on this one.
Is it?
I thought it was called Blinded by. Anyway, I've got that
Blinded
one
by the Light is Bruce
because
Springsteen, isn't it?
It's just called Blinding Light.
yeah, it is. But
Yeah, it's called Blinded.
Next song.
I've got this is an old one.
It's called Blinding Lights.
Blinding Lights. Then.
So we're all wrong.
So
There we
we
go.
were all wrong.
There we go.
This is an old one. It's from, but the artist released a new album this week. So I went back and listened to one of their old albums. It's called Mountains of Gold, and it's by Everything Is Recorded.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. It's got Sampha on it. I like Sampha a lot.
I love Sampha. It puts me to sleep, that man.
I've got Algorithm by Childish Gambino. That new album is awesome.
I love Childish Gambino. I would like to vote that our theme tune should be Time by Childish Gambino.
I've got Black Qualls by Thundercat. That's a new one out from this week. And I've also got Lord Send Revival by Hillsong Young and Free, because that is just a banger.
They're all really relaxing songs that you've chosen, except for Algorithm. It's just kind of like you could chill to any of them, and then you just get one that's just full of like animal sounds and banging, and you're like, what? It's such an amazing album, the 3:15:20.
Oh.
Rosie Nash. Shut up, you. Rosie Nash, what is your songs?
What is your songs?
What is your songs?
So I've been listening to the new 5 Seconds of Summer album. Mainly their single Wildflower. Don't pull that face, Ben. They're good. But I've been listening to the whole album because they released a single in August called Teeth, which is so good. And so I've been listening to that album, but mainly Wildflower, their single. And then Hayley Williams released an EP, her first solo one, and it's incredible. But I've been listening to Simmer a lot, which came out a while ago. But since the EP came out, I've been listening to it a lot. And then, this is the best one. I've been listening to It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones. I don't know why.
Oh my word.
And it's stuck in my head. And it is such a happy song. And it just, I played it when I got up this morning, it was this afternoon. But yeah, like when I got up, I was playing It's Not Unusual and it was great.
Did you do the dance that goes with it?
No.
So they're your quarantine playlists.
Yeah.
To get you through this hard time.
It's Not Unusual will get you through anything.
So we're gonna make this playlist. We're gonna make it publicly available.
Oh.
Nice.
No, we're not. You're going to make this playlist and you're going to make it publicly available.
Well, yeah, but I like to say we, so you guys seem involved.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So hopefully at the time of recording, it's somehow going to be available on Apple Music and Spotify, and you'll be able to find it, and you'll have your quarantine playlists.
We can do that.
Quarantunes. And then you can listen to it all the time when you want to kill each other.
Chill out.
So we're going to move straight into our next segment. Why is he looking disappointed?
Well, I'm not looking disappointed. I'm just to build up a tension.
Ewan's up there in the corner like he wants to die.
I'm not. I just feel tension.
Right. We're going to move straight into our newest segment, brilliantly named You've Tested Positive.
I love it.
I would like to argue that it's quite sensitively named for the time because it does not reference the C word.
Connor.
Oh, you don't, yeah, I like it.
We've banned it from the show, that word.
What, Connor?
The old, not Connor. I can't say, you can bleep that, Connor. So, right, you've tested positive. We're going to share some happy things that have happened since everyone's been all bummed out recently. My personal favourite story, get ready, it's brilliant. This woman in Oklahoma has trained a dog. The dog's called Sundance, if you're interested, and you can find the story. She's trained this dog to go over to the neighbour with this blank sheet of paper in his mouth. And he goes over, and then she writes a grocery list in it. And then he runs back to her, gives his owner the grocery list. The owner goes shopping, and then the dog goes and takes her groceries over to her house.
That's sweet.
And it's so cute. And then the dog stays for a little bit for cuddles. And there's a video that goes with it. I'm hoping Connor would be able to find it and then show it. But he's just all cute and he just scurries over.
Wait, what happens if the dog gets coronavirus?
Dogs can't get coronavirus.
Didn't they prove that
they can.
Animals can get it. Dogs can't.
Dogs
but
can't.
3 tigers have got it.
Sorry, animals can get it, dogs can't. Is that what you just said?
Like animals,
Yeah,
but
animals.
domestic pets can't get it.
Okay. Yeah.
So cats, dogs, hamsters.
If you needed any more reason as to why dogs are the best animals in the world.
I was really tempted to have mine with me during filming, but I thought this was the quietest place in my house, so I wouldn't. We'll move straight on to some more good news. There's this woman, just some random woman. I don't actually know what she does. She's a student, but she's designed these new, like, proper safety masks, like medical standards, and designed them purely for people that are deaf and hard of hearing, so that the mask will work for them. I'm not too sure how it works. It's got this little window in, and I don't know if it's just that window lets through more sound so they can communicate.
For lip reading.
It probably, yeah. That's actually a good point. Yeah, it's probably for lip reading.
There we go.
And that's why you, Rosie, are the student, and I am not.
Technically, I'm the teacher, but yeah, sure.
Well, the students always become the teacher. It happens.
This is why Rose is training to be a teacher, and you're recording a video on your laptop.
Yeah, because I don't know whether they're going to let me train to be a teacher now. Because in 2020,
they will.
A levels are gone.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
They will.
We'll get through it. But more good news. There's a maths teacher who got an email from this 12-year-old student's parents saying, was really struggling as a teacher, she's not understanding anything. And he drove all this way, 45-minute drive, to stand on this girl's driveway with a whiteboard and just teach her maths directly from her driveway, which is an absolute hero move. Yeah. The only issue is he went out his house and it wasn't exercise.
It was
true.
It was his job, though.
That is a good point, yeah. He was
Would
still
it be described as essential travel?
Yeah. He's a key worker. Education is key.
Yeah, you tell him, Rosie.
Yeah.
But things like that, they're happening everywhere. If you can find good news all over the internet. John Krasinski's got a good news show. There's Tank's good news. There's positive.news.com. You can find all of this everywhere, and it's amazing. There's stories like even this martial arts tutor who is going on his daily exercise dressed as Spider-Man, so that when he sees kids that look really bored in their gardens or their windows, he just pretends to be Spider-Man.
That is so cool.
That's cool.
It's amazing. And obviously right now, I think the best news that we got is the NHS.
Yeah, they're
doing absolute bits at the minute. I think obviously everyone will have heard the clapping that's going on like every week at the minute, which really it's not enough. We could do it more, but stay inside, don't go out that much. And also essential workers doing a brilliant job everywhere.
I feel all people working in supermarkets, they're the heroes.
Yeah, people in supermarkets and Connor slaving away in Amazon tirelessly. Not allowed to stay home and stay safe. But
I'm getting paid £21 an hour tomorrow.
This Connor's one of those giving me sympathy, just getting constant money.
You're paying us for appearing in this podcast, Connor.
Huh?
You get paid in likes.
Wow.
So if you think George and Rosie are doing a good job, you just give them a like down below. If you think we're doing a good job, dislike the video. And we'll see who's doing better.
Really not what you want, is it?
Any feedback is good feedback. But yeah, you two go do some work, eat some food, relax, watch Netflix, whatever you're planning to do. We will let you go. Thank you for joining us. You've been really good.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it.
Any closing statements before I kick you out of the group?
Stay home.
Stay home. Check the NHS save lives.
Stay home.
Yes,
Should not
definitely do
that. If your friends ask you to meet up, you should say no.
See you guys.
Bye.
See you later, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has been Youth Archive in the morning. Join us next week where we'll be interviewing Charles Gambino, Donald Glover, about his latest release, 3:15:20. You don't want to miss that. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.